Out of her playing with like one leg up on the desk while she was competing in her matches. Maybe because I'm the most inflexible person on the planet, but that still astounds me that anyone could actually pull that off and still compete at a high level.
Aerobics lessons together.
No.
No, we should not.
If you just want to feel sorry for the fate of humanity, then yes, I will gladly join you. But we are in the match now, so things are getting started here. We'll see if Ryung can make things back here against Scarlett in game number 2, if he can tie it up, or if Scarlett can win 2-0.
iPL 5. Welcome to iPL 5 Daybreak.
And we are going to start on Daybreak. Bit of a surprising pick, I have to say, from this guy. Down in the bottom left-hand corner, he's our red Terran player. He is...
Ryung.
There he is, not going for something like Ohana or Antigua Shipyard. Picks Daybreak against his Zerg opponent here. She is up 1-0. She's spawning here in the top right-hand corner, our blue Zerg player.
Acer Scarlett.
Very manly scream there from the audience.
Yeah!
Just like that.
I love it. I support it. More like that. We need like 50 people doing that at once. So anyway, this is where ZBT and Ryung has picked Daybreak, which is kind of interesting. This is the go-to pick for a lot of Zerg players recently. You have narrow running paths. Just 3 Creek Tumors can actually go through all paths through the middle of the map. You have a lot of places to hide Broodlords, and Fester armies can be strong here, locking down units. Not saying that Terrans don't have chances. I'm just saying there's a lot of reasons why Zerg players usually pick this.
CC first.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Kevin, but I wonder, could it possibly be that Ryung is looking to emulate the type of play we saw earlier today in Startail Bomber? Were you casting that particular one?
No, I wasn't.
Startail Bomber against a Zerg on Daybreak, Slivko. Bomber took out Slivko 2-0. Slivko is an excellent Russian Zerg player from Team Rockskiss. And Bomber got to that situation where he had a good number of Ravens, like 8 Ravens, 10 Vikings, 8 Ghosts, and then he followed it up with battle cruisers. And let me tell you, those Seeker missile usage, he was nuking everywhere. That's a lot of AoE damage.
Yeah, I read that report on the live report thread, or should I say all 38 pages of it of nothing but whoa! It's just kept going back and forth.
What is this? I don't even... Why does that sentence never get finished?
I don't know. That's...
I don't
what
even
is this?
what?
I don't even...
what?
The whole thing. Anyway, so Command Center first, into a little bit of gas now for Ryung as he's going to get his factory at about the same time. You were talking about that mass Raven-style play. I like to call that either the Gumiho or MVP Metropolis style of play. Whenever you see a TvZ, you know Gumiho or MVP are on it. You're like, okay, sit back, we're going to have about a 40-minute match, and there's going to be a lot of Seeker missiles.
Yeah, let's just go through the motions, and I can finally make Ravens and do the coolest spell in the game.
It is actually the coolest spell, and I'm glad you recognize that as well. So
I love it. I love it when I get the Raven in mono battles. Always enough for a lot of hilarious action.
Why do I always get medevac whenever I play mono battles?
Because you don't turn off the medevac option.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
I'm unlucky enough I get it even when I turn it off. Scarlett going to bypass gas, and Ryung gets a perfect scout. Sees this, knows that this is going to be a mini queen build here at the very beginning. Ryung, of course, setting down his command center first right now. Already has his factory well on the way, and we'll see what he follows us up with.
Yeah, so far, it's a factory with a reactor on the barracks, so he's probably going to swap those out. And, well, double heli on start. There's nothing too strange about that. The real question, of course, is, as you said, what does he follow it up with? I don't think it's going to be Raven straight away. Probably it'll be Hellions and bio, tank play, and so on.
Now, you do get a lot more minerals whenever you go for the command center first, so everything's just a little bit farther along, which means he can drop down a lot earlier third command center while he's going up for Banshees if he so desires. Scarlett, of course, picks up on a good portion of this, decides to drop down a pretty early third base. But I'm not sure what she's going to follow this up with here in a second. Obviously, we're going to have good creep spread. Obviously, she's going to, you know, make a concerted effort to stop any sort of damage, excuse me, from Hellions at the beginning of the game. But we'll see what her long-term game plan is momentarily.
Yeah, really, Command Center first from Terran only has 2 disadvantages, really. It's like an early pull that would do some damage against it, but when you do that wall off, it's not too scary at all. And the other one is just, you're not really hiding your intentions as much. Like, there's no risk whatsoever of like early Marine bunker pushes. And that's really the only thing. But he already did that last game, so he got that out of the way with, and is now going to go for some macro play. Now, this is kind of cool. The Overlord flew in, saw the starport, saw the tech lab, and we saw the only time the medevac upgrade ever gets researched, though never finished, to fake a cloak upgrade. So now Scarlett is perhaps under the impression that there's cloak coming, which will force her to make a spore crawler both in the main base and the natural. And that's a nice little gain for no cost at all by Ryung. So he's going to get Banshees, but no cloak. And those spores is 1 drone less mining at least.
I tend to make that upgrade out of spite in very late game TV, whatever, just like, because I'm like, I have to make up for all the times that it's built but never finished. I'm like, no, Caduceus Reactor, I'm doing this. Let's see here, though, as, you know, Ryung's going to have that pretty powerful attack here again in a second. That 6 Hellion with Banshee play. We mentioned before that he favors a little bit more bio play, and this is no exception. He's already got his double engineering base coming up, so he's going to swap back into bio, and we'll see where he goes from here on out. A little bit riskier to put up his command center over directly at his 3rd rep and float it over. Gives him a little bit more efficiency, but of course it means it limits the amount of pressure he can put on with the Hellions. He's got to pretty much just sit there and defend it against Zerglings.
Yeah, that's a good point, Kevin, but it really characterizes the game plan here by Ryung. Everything he has done was about maximum economy and maximum getting ahead against a player who probably won't rush him. So he's going to get maximum economy right now, and that should give him some good follow-up in the mid-game.
And we'll see how Scarlett wants to try and work on this, because, you know, if she concedes the economic advantage voluntarily, she's got to make up for it somewhere else, whether it's in tech, whether it's in military. Who knows where that's going to come in a bit. Obviously, Infestation Pit's coming down pretty early. She knows that her opponent's going for a little bit more defensive build. She hasn't taken any pressure yet. If that's the case, she can opt to go for those, you know, that earlier 11-minute hive, something like that. Just sit back and just gear towards Tier 3 tech immediately.
Now, of course, she does have 1 lead already, which is upgrade lead. 1-1 already finished, and it's halfway for Ryung, and she immediately queues up the next upgrades.
Yeah, +2 Carapace is already on the way. There's +2 weapons. Baneling Nest, I mean, doing nothing as far as military is concerned at this point. She has 22 lings. That's not going to be enough to defend any sort of a Terran attack. She's banking on the fact that she can just sit back and invest in her infrastructure for now. Yeah,
not too different from Ryung. I mean, he's not rushing out that siege tank upgrade, which is very good defensively. He's making tanks, but there comes the 2nd tank and no upgrade yet. So it's just all about the money and all about just getting ready for a later game. And it seems they kind of agreed on this.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this a couple of times lately. You know, it's weird because the game had stabilized, I should say, a couple of months ago to the point where in TvZ, even PvZ to a large degree, you could expect that, well, okay, well, we're going to build a few command structures, we're going to sit back, we're going to wait about 15 minutes, we're going to go attack each other, and we're going to see what happens. Lately, players have been trying to exploit that a bit. We've seen kind of a renaissance of more 2-base play, even quick 1-base play occasionally. But you know, these games can stretch on for quite a while, and it doesn't look like either player really wants to put themselves out there on the map all that much.
Now, sometimes I think about StarCraft 2 as being many different types of genres. For example, when you look at this game where you're both waiting till the 15-minute mark, just trying to get ahead by doing your own thing, I kind of have to think of it as like a racing game. Like you're not necessarily, like you're not, like in some racing games in competitive format, you're not allowed to bump against each other with the car, so you're basically just doing your own thing. It's like a time clock thing. That's kind of what you're engaging in when you're both going for this 15 or 20-minute target without fighting.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what it seems like, because you're willingly letting your other opponent just say, okay, I'll let you do whatever you want, but I can do it better.
Yeah,
so we're
both racing, and I can, you know, cut better corners than you.
All right, well, you know, Scarlett is starting to establish herself on the map, but it's not really there to do anything other than just protect her bases she's putting up right now, as she doesn't have too much of an intention to move out at the moment. She's banked a lot of minerals, not a lot of gas. Really important to her to get that 7th and 8th gas up and running.
Now, a very nice minimalist usage by Scarlett there of energy to take down that Banshee, which admittedly wasn't, you know, very well controlled. Just 2 infested Terran eggs, and 1 fungal growth took down that man tree. In the meantime, we have a drop going up at the north position, and Scarlett does spot that immediately. She's got very good eyesight and reactions there. Move that Spore Crawler up, and the drop will be spotted and defended by Lynx, most likely.
Yep, already coming under attack from the Spore Crawler, and now the Lynx are in position, so Ryung has to move away. Does allow him to start moving through the middle of the map with another group of forces, but look at how many scans he's already had to expend, and that comes at the expense of his economy. Again, the creep spread is very good from Scarlett. It's actually been stopped multiple times, but yet it's still over half the map.
Yeah, very, very nice job there by her as well, Ryung realizes probably can't do a push yet. Will power up some more, make another command center, make 2 more barracks. His 2-2 is finished. I think he has 1 attack upgrade on the tanks as well. So that's the kind of timing Terrans usually look for. And that's the kind of timing Terrans usually cannot afford to wait too long beyond.
And will he be able to put on any significant pressure? If he can pull units out of position with this drop, that'd be pretty effective.
Wow.
And he's actually done some very good damage with this. He picks up on the exact timing of his hive. He's actually dropping down to the bottom right-hand corner as well. So these Marines have already been worth their weight in gold.
Yeah, he killed 2 queens there and a number of drones.
Yeah, very nice job. So even causing more fungal growth to be expended, all the while he scans and moves in through the creep spread once again.
Now gonna drop in that natural position as well with 4 Marines. Zerglings are right on top of it, but this allows Ryung to clear out some of those creep tumors, as you said, and picks up 3 Marines once again, drops them in the main, being very, very annoying there.
Oh yeah, I mean, he can keep these alive for a while. With the sustain from the medevac sitting overhead, they can heal up for a while. Yeah, they get killed though.
Yeah,
it was going to happen eventually.
Yeah,
it's just.
It was just 3 Marines.
Ooh, we have a sneaky infester running through the middle here. Could drop out those beach balls. Oh, and yes, the attack is actually happening right now. A lot of things getting fungled in the middle. The medevac's going to be worth almost nothing. The Zerglings have overrun this position very effectively. A really nice engagement from Scarlett.
Wow, a moment of inattention by Ryung, and Scarlett being able to plan those fights so well. Why? It's because of those infestors, man. Ryung didn't have any read that Scarlett knew exactly how he was positioned. He was not ready for that. And Scarlett always hitting at the right time.
Just before this, I had actually kind of liked Ryung's position. He did damage with those drops. He had set back Greater Spire, you know? I mean, he had established a 4th base. I thought things were going okay. But Scarlett wins another good fight.
Yeah, one thing changed the game there, and this is that infestor spotting.
Yeah, and that infestor getting right underneath was able to do all the damage that she needed. I mean, you can't describe how valuable it is. Those the first couple of beach balls, as we call them, the infested Terrans popping out, absorbing those first tank shots, doing damage to Ryung's own force, and being able to flank him with the rest of your units.
Yeah. All right, Scarlett is looking to move in here. Her Zerglings are taking some nice shots there from that tank. And because the tank is not in vision, Scarlett's units do not react, either aggressively or defensively. They just stand there and take shots. But luckily she noticed she's not too poor of a general and will pull them back.
Yeah, she was already putting down spy crawlers if she was looking to free up supply for her broodlords, which she's morphing in right now. Double drop actually hitting, and that's not enough Zerglings right away to be able to take care of this. But with the spine crawlers just morphing in, that's going to be plenty. Scarlett trying to take the middle of the map at the same time that Ryung establishes yet another command center. So both these players are playing very economic games, but once this broodlord army starts moving forward, it's going to get a lot more difficult for Ryung.
Ryung finishing up his 3rd infantry armor upgrade, almost with that 3rd attack as well, and it will be just about synced up with Scarlett's own 3-3 upgrades on the ground. In the meantime, Ryung is staying with a very basic army, a tier 2 army with mostly Vikings, Marines, and tanks. No Ravens to speak of whatsoever yet. Feels like he cannot get them out in time yet. And Scarlett, what does she have? She has 4 Broodlords here. Nice Baneling. 4 Broodlords. Just 4.
4 Broodlords, 9 Corruptors, but this hard contained position that Ryung has set up is pretty effective. It's going to help zone out those air units just a little bit more, and it actually does force them into the range of fire a little bit. So Ryung's done a better job in trying to break this line than other units have in the past.
4 Marines took out the Broodlord.
There you go. So that's already a pretty good gain, and it actually wastes another 34 seconds as Scarlett morphs in 2 more Broodlords.
Now, Ryung. What is he making? He's making 3 more Vikings. He's getting a 2nd Viking upgrade. This should put him at 16 Vikings against 13 Corruptors and 3 Broodlords. So it's almost enough to take down what Scarlett has. The spread will be absolutely, absolutely crucial.
And we were talking about what kind of play we would like to see before, or maybe something that's been exhibited in the past. We have 2 Ghost Academies, 2 starports on the way right now. We're going to see nukes at the very least. We could very well see Ravens on top of that.
Yeah, maybe some cloaked ghost action, doing some EMPs on the infestors, doing some snipes. Ryung needs time and he needs supply, so he's doing some double attacks there with the Marines. Not quite getting the mileage he would love to get out of them.
No, not really. This one in the main is actually going to do more than anything else because it pulls back the vast majority of the Zerglings there for a while. Bought him some time that he needed. He sees the second Spire coming up. He knows that there's a huge commitment to airplay here, so his decision maybe to put up those ghosts, those nukes, those multiple starports could pay off for him.
Yeah, that's a very good perception by you, Kevin. That the moment he saw that, he made 6 more Vikings. So he knew, like, you're not going to do an ultraless switch, you're committing to airplay. So in come the 6 more Vikings. We've got a lot of upgrades coming out here. Terran ship plating level 1 and Terran ship weapons level 2, as well as high-sec auto-trucking, which is a good range upgrade for missile turrets and planetary forces. But hold the phones here for a while. The big fight is starting here. Scarlett pushing in with her Corruptors and Broodlords. The Corruptors are taking down all the Vikings. What is left here really for Ryung? He has to try and take those Broodlords down. The Infestors are running out of energy, but there's still enough for 1 fungal growth on the Vikings. It looks like she's pushing through here. Ryung down to 108 supply, trying to regroup here with Marines. Can he hold this attack? It certainly does not look so.
She lost a lot of her infestors, and that's kind of the saving grace for Ryung at the moment. But it came at a moment at exactly when he wanted to switch his tech, exactly when he was investing into upgrades. It was almost the perfect time for Scarlett to move forward.
Oh, but there's no more energy. The Marines are coming in and taking down all the Broodlords. 3 have gone down. And the rest get surrounded by Broodlings. So that was a nice lucky break there for Scarlett, as she can still escape with 2 of them.
And now that's enough for her to fall back for a little bit, but Ryung's starting to continue to produce all these Vikings over and over again. We see the Ravens being added on now, but he has almost nothing in the way of army on the ground, and Scarlett has taken her entire side of the map. She's even taken that base down to the 6 o'clock position. And if Ryung doesn't have any units to defend here for a second, there's no way he can get this advanced tech out. And if he doesn't get this advanced tech out, then he's just wasted a huge amount of resources into trying to get it all established.
Yeah, now to be fair, Ryung has an excellent economy. He's mining 3,000 minerals a minute, but he's still 118 supply. He's trying to produce as much as he can, but he needs time, and Scarlett's not going to give him that, being the excellent player that she is. Pushing in now, taking down this planetary fortress in the middle. That's a lot of Broodlords there. 10 Broodlords. The Infestors are out of energy, but they've done what they need to, breaking this pole position here from Ryung, and GG is called. Scarlett takes it 2-0.
Wow, so Scarlett, she takes out the GSL Coda semi-finalist Ryung in dominating fashion. That last game, that last engagement was so convincing, and she just checks her iPod afterwards. No concern whatsoever. Congratulations to Scarlett. She will be advancing into winners round 4. Ryung, not looking happy about that. You can certainly tell that he was not pulling any punches. He wanted to win this match.
Yeah, definitely. But even giving it her all is not always enough. There's always people who will beat you on any given day, and this time it's Scarlett beating Ryung, which means that she will go on to the next round in the winner bracket and is going to be facing off against Sleep.
That's right. So Sleep, another Zerg player, so she's going to see a CBC there. And we're going to check on some results for you guys here in just a second, but a very, very convincing performance there. Congratulations to Scarlett. And so do we have any other good bracket updates? Looks like STC and Bomber are actually tied 1-1 at the moment.
In the meantime, Innovation and Violet are also tied 1-1. So Violet took back that second game, and we're down to the rubber match in both of those series. And in the meantime, in the loser bracket, nothing has developed yet that we know of. So you'll just have to stay tuned to watch the streams and watch the matches as they envelop here on day 1 of IPL 5.
Yeah.
So happy to be casting here with you. Next match.
Oh, that's so good. We have Symbol versus MC. Wow. So just unbelievable matches. I actually cast it before TSL Shine versus MC. MC was able to dispatch of Shine pretty easily in a quick 2-0. So we'll see a Symbol. We were talking before, Sheth and I, like, there's these levels, these tiers of TSL Zerg players. They keep going up. So MC's taken out Shine now. Can he go through the next level up in Symbol? And will he be able to defeat the final boss, Hyun? But
really fits that kind of Street Fighter character selection screen that you're showcasing here in the IPL 5 in that intro every time where you see like player 1, player 2.
Well, MC is always a treat to cast, so that's going to make for an entertaining match. Don't forget, guys, the entire weekend you can view IPL 5 on a variety of different sources. I'm not sure where you happen to be watching now, but you can find us on Twitch TV. All of our streams are there, and we hope you guys will check us out. We're also available on the IGN Xbox Live app, so you can watch us on your big screen right in your living room from your recliner. We're also available directly on the front page of IGN.com, where you can vote live on the matches as they happen. Vote for your favorite players, and you pick the right results, maybe get enough points to start winning some prizes. You can also check out our iOS app where you can view the streams on iTunes by searching IGN Pro League or heading to go.ign.com/IPL app.
So I think we'll be heading into a short break, and then we'll be back with this next excellent match here. We've got SKMC against TSL Symbol. Don't go anywhere. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll be back momentarily.
Rated M for mature.